All right, so finally getting around to these cover plates. To be honest, I kind of forgot about it until I was editing the video about me cleaning the aluminum parts and saw that I had promised to do these in here. So figured, hell, I better get to it. So this one, I sanded. I just went ahead and sanded. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I just went ahead and sanded all the chips out of it and kind of feathered everything out. I didn't feel like trying to mess around with stripping it or anything like that. It just seemed to be kind of a hassle. I didn't go as nuts on this one as I did on this one. This one I removed all of the black paint. So this will actually be a pretty good experiment to see how far you really need to go with this in order to get it to look good. So I have a feeling it'll look fine. I just scuffed the black that I didn't feather, and there's a couple little tiny chips in here, you know, but to be honest with you, I don't think it'll be noticeable once we're done here. So you don't have to worry about cleaning the surface, the main surface. All we're looking for are the ruts and the lettering. So since it's all sanded, I'm gonna start by just cleaning everything with denatured alcohol. I'm just gonna get some on a paper towel, go around here and just clean off any debris, any kind of oils or anything that might be present. And that'll get the sanding stuff off too. There we go. And dry, clean paper towel. Just wipe the rest of this off. I'm doing this in a hurry. This stuff will dry on its own. It dries pretty quick, but helping it along here. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and get this thing set up for the next step. Okay, here we are. If I sound a little funny, it's because I'm finally wearing some PPE. Now, these masks aren't great. Ideally, you want a cartridge mask, but you're pretty well ventilated here. Should be all right. So all you're really gonna do is paint this. And yes, you're gonna paint the whole thing. So let's get started here. And I have this thing sitting up. It's actually a outlet, electrical outlet box. Just got it sitting up so I can get all the way around it. I don't have to move the thing at all. Makes your life a whole lot easier. So what I'm gonna do is, I actually probably have way too much paint on here than I should, but I'm trying to do it in a hurry, and I'm not worried about any of these upper surfaces at all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this flash off for a minute and set up, and then I'm gonna come back and hit it with another coat, and we will get back going. Once this is all dry, this will be like tomorrow that I'll get to this. Once it's all dry, then I'll show you the rest. Now, I had some problems with this can. You actually may want to remember, and I should have remembered, to check these, because this thing is it was just spurting out paint. So it made it look kind of funky at first, but I think it'll turn out okay. So we'll catch up with you guys when this thing's all dry and ready for the next step. And we're back. with the dried cover plate. Yes, all black. To be honest with you, I actually think these look pretty cool like this. If you're gonna paint your intake, might be kind of neat to do like a stealth thing. I've seen people do it before, but still always looks good when it's all fresh, but nice and dry. I can put my hands all over it, no problem. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get to the next step to get it to turn out like that one right there. So I went to the paint store today and got myself some more PPE. Because if I'm gonna tell you guys to use this stuff, it's not very fair if I don't. And I also don't really want to breathe in any more paint, paint fumes, paint dust, Bondo dust, any kind of dust than I already have. Working in paint shops for a long time, I was careless. And it's gonna catch up at some point, so let's try to minimize that. So this is just one of those, they called it a Bodyman respirator. I went in there and told him I wanted a sanding mask with pink stuff on the side. So he knew exactly what I was talking about. So it's gonna sound kind of funny, but I'm gonna get this thing on, and then we're gonna get the camera pointed that way and go to work on this. I'm just gonna sand this thing with 60 grit. You want to use something that has a solid base sanding thing, because basically what we're looking to do is sand the top of this flat, and what that's going to leave us with is the black in between. And now, like if you look at the stock ones, they've got real heavy lines in them. So I don't know exactly how they made them, but if you want to duplicate that, you could. It would actually be probably best to use like even 60 grit or even 40 grit on a belt sander. And if it were me, I would actually build a little piece of wood to go on here so I could hold it down safely and just run it along the belt sander. I don't have a belt sander, and I do like the look of this smoother, just slightly more shiny finish. So I'm going to use 150 to go over it with that, with a block, and I'll kind of show you the technique to do that, because this sander right here is going to put all kinds of marks and stuff in the aluminum that I don't want to keep. We're going to time lapse this, so you guys don't have to be bored. Okay, so we're getting there. As you can see here though, there's some nastiness in that aluminum that goes pretty far down. So I'm gonna try seeing if I can be real careful and get that out. Yeah, see, I don't know if that's gonna come out. Well, I'll put on a new piece of sandpaper. This stuff gets pretty gummed up. That paint has only had about 18 hours to really cure, so it hasn't completely hardened yet, so that's why it gums up like that. But let's try it again. Okay, well guys, I got a lot of that nastiness and that aluminum out, but I think some of it might be there to stay. Without a much more aggressive sanding technique, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it out, but let me hit this edge a little better. Okay, so now sanding block, just a rubber 3M sanding block with 150 grit on it. And what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna sand in a straight back and forth motion, just like that. And that's gonna give us those lines that we're looking for. Okay, so what you're looking to do with this portion is two things. First, you're looking to take out all the sanding marks that this thing left in there. And second, you're looking to get those straight lines. And if I wipe this thing off, and there we have it. This looks pretty good. The only imperfections were already in the metal, and I don't know if it's stained or what the deal is with it, but they're in there pretty good. So I might work on getting those things out at some point. But that's pretty much what you're looking for. This one didn't have, this is the other one. This one's actually pretty dusty. This one didn't have any of the nastiness to the metal that one did, but I mean, that's what you're looking for right there. So that's pretty much it. You can do these in any color you want. I like the black. I think it looks the most striking. But I mean, red, blue, purple, green, you name it. You can do them in any color. I do recommend removing all of the paint from insides of the lettering and the lines, because on this one where I didn't, the paint was a little textured in some areas, and so you know, you're not gonna notice it at first, but if you're like me, then you know it's there, and it might bug the hell out of you. If it doesn't, then who cares? Do it like that. Still looks great. Can't complain at all. So that's gonna wrap this video up, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, any other stuff you want to see, any other how-tos or anything like that, let me know and we'll get to it. Otherwise, have a good day.